Act 7.2 Beta coming soon. Stryfe enters the arena tomorrow, and we have some problems with Archangel in this month's Cavalier.
Initializing Weapon X protocol. Kill all flat scan humans. Whoa, that was weird. All Hasbro severed Deadpool heads, and I love humans. Must be bad programming.
Yeah, anyway, on that note, thank you everybody, and hello, welcome to the Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. There's very little going on, Deadpool. Absolutely diddly squat. But we've got important reminders and other stuff happening, so yeah, okay, hit the like button, subscribe and post notifications on all, because when new information drops, and there will be massive information drops towards the end of this week, you want to be well informed, so make sure you're here on the RichTheMan channel. You know what to do. But in any case, before we get into the Marvel Contest of Champions news today, I want to give thanks and thank you to those who support the channel through the medium of Patreon and YouTube membership. You're on screen at the moment. Thank you so much for keeping that support. But also, thank you so much to those that support over on twitch.tv/RichTheMan Live, where I predominantly do my live streaming in order to escape the pesky notification algorithm and ruining my channel that YouTube does to me. But on the lighter note, thank you so much to those that support with gifted subs, those that do the Prime Gaming, and so many others that support with bits and other stuff as well. Let's begin our news today by talking and kind of bringing back what we talked about yesterday, which was I did a separate video on the Cavalier difficulty and its impact of change. Here's the thing, there are going to be players out there that want a challenge from Cavalier difficulty. And when we got it back in September, it was difficult, it was more laborious, but it wasn't rewarded. The difference is now that it's been scaled down to be as difficult as, say, doing Uncollected by a little bit more, which I think comes in line with what Caban were trying to do, and also the time it took in order to do it. Because here's the thing, it's not just about this game mode being a monthly thing or a regular thing that players might want to do. We've still got Arena 2.0 to do, and I'm sure there's something else that's going to be brought in at a later date, with incursions being redone. If those two things there were then ramped up and improved, then time is going to be very important to do those other game modes. For me personally at the moment, I don't rush a lot of the content, and I do little kind of like little chunklets of things like Act 7.1, which I'm hoping to 100% next week. The same thing with doing a Path of Abyss or doing more of Act 6. Because of, again, laborious and getting bored quite easily with some of the content, it's not always what players want to do. But it's having options for different players, and that's really the main thing. And yeah, we produced yesterday a little video which was going over this whole kind of situation about new changes, new nodes, and the fact that this is going to be either seen to be easier. Actually, let's face it, if there's going to be attack rating decreases, then yes, it's going to be a lot easier for people to get through. But you just don't know what's the reasoning behind it. And whether or not, yes, as we said with this particular thread, is there a need to give a Thronebreaker difficulty? Now, I think this is a good thread and a good discussion point to bring in the likes of Thronebreaker difficulty. It is difficult to find out where Caban are with their logic, with putting in stuff like this, changing Cavalier difficulty, and just kind of making a structured environment for your progression. The biggest issue, and I think the biggest response to this, is that where you lie with your luck. Because that's the thing, champions aren't being buffed as quick as they should be, and effectively, if we're saying that people are going to be using 565 in content that is going to be Thronebreaker level, where and how is that going to be balanced off? A 565 in the most difficult content is not going to be as, say, the same as, say, like rank 3 6 stars, which, let's face it, the top end of Thronebreaker will have, and the very low end of Thronebreaker, like myself, will have a more scope of 565s. Is there going to be a great comparison? Will there be restrictions on things being brought in? There are lots of different things that would need to be considered prior to something like this being brought into the game. I do agree, having something on a monthly basis that is giving players an option of that reoccurring rewards, even kind of pushing as far as to say a huge amount of tier 5 basic, tier 2 alpha, 5-star, and less actually 5-star, but more 6-star shards that would be more bumped than Cavalier, would be a very good thing for the player base. So here is the thing, we'll just have to wait with bated breath to see if this will be added in. Some players were saying that they would want to see it by the summer, but I just don't think Caban would be in that mindset. If anything, this would be more towards like next year, if I was to hazard any kind of guess.
but it's not in their roadmap anytime soon, so I doubt that indeed will be a thing. Anyway, moving on, and here is your reminder for Marvel Insider. If you don't know already, there are lots of different activities to do currently. There are also a few quizzes, including Kamala Khan. There's also superheroes need their super villains, and there's lots of different other quizzes as well. They'll say quiz on them, and the good people over at the Contest of Champions Reddit have indeed got the answers for you. So, long-time collector, shout out to yourself. In which comic did Null make his first appearance? It's Venom. What is the name of Null's sword? All Black the Necro Sword. Which of the following is not one of Null's abilities? The power to embiggen. Why did the Celestials banish Null? He killed one of the Celestials. And symbiotes being which alien species? Clintar. But then Ozymandias says you do know you get full points whether you score perfect 500 or 0. So it's nice to kind of have the answers. Also, is there anything wrong at the moment? Yeah, there's an Archangel bug that is affecting the Jubilee interaction with the node. So this one was put on the forums. This has been an issue. I actually didn't find this a problem when I first did Archangel fight against this. I actually used Archangel, but found it to be fine. But that's the thing, you know, it's just, I think it's just sometimes during the month some things break or something. When up against Jubilee and Cav monthly, Archangel is being affected by ability accuracy reduction from the node and is unable to parry stun. So yeah, whereas Archangel has always been immune to ability accuracy reduction, be it from a debuff or from someone like Domino Only Champ that seems to bypass this collector level threat. So what is happening? So from this, yeah, just more images of it just showing the ability accuracy reduction, the interaction, the node and stuff like that. What's happening? Well, yeah. Command Boosters, hi folks, here to assure you that we are aware of this and our team is working on getting this fixed. Thanks for your patience and understanding. So it's being looked at, but it's coming to the end of the month, so you just think, what's the point? What's the point? But at least it could get done. People still talking about the iPhone 12 issues. Like, yeah, don't get me started on optimization. A lot of the Android players are just kind of like losing the will to live at times with it. The iPhone 12 issues have been going on at least 2 months, and yes, it's been acknowledged, but after an exhaustive process. Check the post on it. Yeah, we've covered the post on this, and we've covered the post on so many Android-based issues, man. Like, and it's just like, you just feel like, what is going on? Your champs don't block or hold block. I've had that problem with the iPhone 11 Pro. It is a really big issue at the moment. 14 even after usual faff, uninstall app, Wi-Fi, old phone, 12 responses. Tell me I've lost the ability to time parries after 5.5 years of play. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing. Works fine on the iPhone 7 Plus, doesn't work on the 11 Pro. And that's the thing. A lot of people will kind of have two devices. You take the new device, you take the old device. The old device works better than the new device. So what's the point, really? What is the point? There needs to be better work on optimization for Android players and iOS as well. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Well, the next thing to talk about is Book 2, Act 1, Chapter 2. This is going to drop at some point. We're going to go into the beta. If you're familiar with the last time we did 7.1 beta, it was dropped in as a beta in September, I want to say, but didn't get launched until December. I think those kind of dates are 2 months for development time, something like that. So if it's a case that this were to be the beta as of next week, let's say, then what would be a launch for this actual mode would be at least April-ish, maybe a little bit before, maybe March. Of course, there's a chance that this will be more ready than it is, but it needs to be beta tested. It needs to be looked at. It needs to have feedback from the player base in order to get it right and also get players interested in it. So yeah, we look forward to that and seeing what the crack is. And now we move on to our final story, which is Arena Predictions. FYI, I did do a prediction for Cable this week at 25 mil. That's wrong. It should be 27 mil based on the info that dropped on yesterday. So just to kind of clear that up, 27 mil for Cable. But when it comes to Doctor Strange and Stryfe, more so for Stryfe. Stryfe has a bit of hype around him, so I do really and strongly feel around this champion dropping around 60 to 65 mil, especially with the backing that he's had, and I think a lot of players are going to be going for him. I would say at lowest, if there's a big change in what the community want, 55 mil, but I'm going with all the predictions down below at between 60 and 65 mil. Top end 65 mil. Let's go for one. Let's commit to 12.5 mil for the 4-star version. Again, based on some hype that this champion has had and could be something that a lot of newer players would want to get. And Doctor Strange, 1.7 mil. Again, I feel that's pretty fair for that basic. But yeah, all predictions, as I said, are below for you to check out. There we go. That's been your Marvel Contest of Champions news for Wednesday. Make sure to check out the live stream later on Twitch. We'll be back into doing some Act 7.1. And as well, tomorrow I should be live streaming here on the main channel for a limited time only. And maybe I'll do a Rich's Realm stream as well. But check out some content on Marvel Realm of Champions there. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.